Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to look at a case study that shows how a super ordinary, kind of boring business idea can actually make a ridiculous amount of money. And no, we are not talking about some revolutionary new tech. This is something way, way simpler.
Just look at that number on the screen. $2.4 million. And get this, that's not revenue. That's the annual take-home profit. Now that sink in for a second.
So you see a number like that, and what do you think? Your mind probably jumps straight to some hot new app, right? Maybe a cutting-edge software company or something with AI. Nope, window cleaning. Seriously, that's it. It's one of the most classic, maybe one of the most boring local services you can possibly imagine. But as you're about to see, that simplicity, well, that's its secret weapon. So let's unpack this idea. Why is a boring business sometimes a much smarter move than a flashy one? It really all comes down to the power of a simple service that people actually need. At its heart, window cleaning is what you'd call a service-based business. You're not inventing some physical product, you're not managing a warehouse full of inventory, you're just offering a valuable service. And that model has some huge, huge advantages. And here's where you can really see the strategy shine. A service business like this takes way less money to get off the ground. But believe it or not, it often has a much higher potential for profit. You compare that to something like a property business, which just eats up capital and comes with a whole lot more risk.
I mean, this just says it all, doesn't it? It shows how incredibly low the barrier to entry is. You can forget about needing some massive bank loan. You can literally start this business with a squeegee, a bucket, and some soap. It's about as capital light as you can possibly get.
So the whole foundation here isn't some complicated business school formula. It starts with a really simple promise. Just do a great job for a fair price. If you can master that one thing, you've got a rock-solid base to build an empire on. Okay, so how do you actually get this thing off the ground? Well, you don't try to take over the entire city on day one. You use what's called the hyperlocal playbook, and it's all about starting super small so you can eventually win big. The strategy here is a really clear three-step process. Step 1, start small. You do the work yourself so you can learn all the ins and outs. Step 2, focus all of your energy on dominating one single community. And step 3, your goal is to become the absolute best, the #1 choice in that one little area. Now, once you've totally mastered that small area, it's time to scale up. But this right here is the most important part. You have to shift from being the person doing the work to being the person directing the work. And to do that, you absolutely need systems. This is such a critical piece of advice. Starting small and doing the work yourself isn't just about saving a few bucks at the beginning. It's actually a form of deep, boots-on-the-ground research. You learn every single problem, every inefficiency. You learn all the pain points of the business firsthand. And all of that hard-won knowledge is the fuel for your growth. It's a simple formula, really. You take those pain points, you turn them into knowledge, you use that knowledge to build efficient systems to solve them, and that is what lets you grow like crazy. And as you get bigger, your marketing has to be just as smart and systematic. Don't waste your money on old-school stuff like billboards or radio ads. Instead, you got to focus on modern, targeted social media where you can actually find your local customers. But here's the golden rule. Perfect your systems first. Do not spend a single dollar on marketing to a new area until you know your operations are running perfectly. All right, let's get to the really fun part and see how this all adds up. We're going to connect this entire strategy back to that incredible number from the beginning. It's time to do the math. So the business plan sets a pretty ambitious target, 50,000 housing units, at a discounted annual price of just $120 per home, which, think about it, is only $10 a month. The math is actually pretty simple. 50,000 units times $120 each, and that gives you your total revenue. And that total is a whopping $6 million. That's the top-line revenue you can generate just by providing a simple, low-cost service to a whole bunch of customers in a concentrated area. But, revenue is one thing. What about profit? Well, this plan is based on a real-world example of a super efficient window cleaning business that operates at a 40% net margin. That means after you pay for everything, supplies, employees, gas, 40 cents of every dollar that comes in is pure profit. So you take that $6 million in revenue, you apply that super lean 40% net margin, and there it is, $2.4 million in annual net profit. We have come completely full circle. The number that seemed totally insane at the beginning now makes perfect, logical sense.
And this, right here, is the single most important lesson from all of this. At the end of the day, you're not really selling clean windows. You're selling a highly efficient, scalable, and profitable system that just happens to deliver clean windows. The system, that's the real product.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Just look around your own neighborhood. What simple, boring problem is just sitting there, waiting for the right person with the right system to come along and turn it into a multi-million-dollar opportunity?